There is an address that has become synonymous with nightmare in the heart of England, 25, Cromwell Street, in the quiet town of Gloucester. Behind its ordinary facade, for 2 decades, a suburban family concealed a secret so terrible that, when revealed, it shook the nation to its very core. This is not merely a story of crime. It is a journey into the darkest recesses of the human psyche, a testament to how normality can be the most perfect mask for evil. It is the story of Fred and Rose West, a tale of domestic horror where the home became a tomb, and trust, a weapon. Prepare yourself, as we unearth the truth that lay buried for so long beneath the West's garden. Fred West did not transform into a monster overnight. Born in 1941, his childhood was a fertile ground for darkness, marred by neglect and a cycle of abuse that shaped his worldview. These traumas do not justify his actions, but they do explain the genesis of a man who viewed others as mere objects for his use. When he met Rose, she was merely a teenager, carrying her own baggage from a troubled life. Their encounter was not the beginning of a redemption, it was the formation of a macabre alliance. Fred, already a father with a violent past, found in Rose a partner who not only tolerated his nature but mirrored and amplified it. Together, they transformed 25, Cromwell Street into the epicenter of a large family and, secretly, the stage for their most depraved impulses. Inside the house, normalcy was a theatrical performance. To the outside world, they were merely a loud, large family. But for those dwelling within, particularly the children, the atmosphere was one of fear and oppression. The house ceased to be a sanctuary and transformed into a trap, a labyrinth of horrors where cruelty dictated the rules. The method was terrifyingly consistent. Their victims were invariably young, vulnerable individuals, lodgers renting a room, babysitters, drifters, and, most shockingly, their own daughters. Rose, with her wholesome, motherly appearance, served as the perfect lure, fostering a deceptive sense of security. Once victims crossed the threshold, the outside world effectively ceased to exist for them. What transpired within those rooms defies comprehension. The victims were subjected to a protracted nightmare, held captive while the couple indulged their darkest impulses. When they tired of them, their lives were extinguished. And then, Fred utilized his construction skills for the final act, concealment. The remains were methodically interred in the garden, beneath the cellar floor, or sealed within the walls. The young women simply vanished, becoming integral components of the house's macabre architecture. For years, the wall of secrets remained impenetrable. Disappearances were reported, but no one connected the dots. The breach emerged from the most unexpected place, from within the family itself. One of the daughters, in an act of desperation, shared information that finally sounded the alarm for the authorities. In February 1994, the police arrived at Cromwell Street with a search warrant. The investigation, initially focused on the disappearance of one of the daughters, Heather, was about to open a Pandora's box. The house, once a symbol of home, transformed into a scene for forensic investigation. The first shovel in the garden revealed the horror. A human bone. Then, a complete skeleton. And then another, and yet another. The house began to yield its dead. Each discovery was more agonizing than the last, confirming the worst fears. 9 bodies were unearthed from the property, a silent testament to the atrocities committed there. The community of Gloucester and the world watched, horrified, as the Garden of Bones revealed the true face of Fred and Rose West. Facing the impending hand of justice, Fred West chose the coward's exit. In 1995, he took his own life in prison, carrying with him the secrets of countless other potential victims and leaving Rose to confront the trial alone. Rose West's trial was a media spectacle. In the dock, she presented herself as a victim, a dominated wife acting under Fred's influence. Alternating between disconcerting coldness and moments of apparent despair, she denied any active participation. But the evidence and testimonies, including those from her own children, told a different story. They described her not as a passive figure, but as an active participant and, at times, the primary perpetrator of the cruel acts. The prosecution painted her as a calculating manipulator, complicit in every stage of the cycle of horror. The verdict was unanimous: guilty. Rose West was convicted of 10 murders and sentenced to life imprisonment, an acknowledgement of the severity of her crimes. The most symbolic consequence arrived in 1996. 25, Cromwell Street, the House of Horrors, was demolished. An act to physically erase the site of the tragedy, in the hope of offering closure to the community and honoring the memory of the victims. The empty lot that remained is today a space of respect, a silent reminder of the darkness that can hide in plain sight. The case of Fred and Rose West is more than a crime story. It is a continuous warning about the dangers of indifference, the importance of listening to those without a voice, and the necessity of questioning normalcy when it seems amiss. It is a lesson on the resilience of the human spirit and the relentless pursuit of truth, even when it is buried beneath layers of concrete and lies. The story of Fred and Rose West compels us to confront uncomfortable truths about human nature. So that the stories of Heather, Charmaine, and all the other victims are not forgotten, please like this video and help it reach more people. And now, I want to hear from you. Comment below, what shocked you the most in this case? The couple's complicity, or the fact that these horrors went on for so long without anyone noticing? Your opinion is crucial for us to keep this discussion alive.